outrage over a stripper at a retirement home, this year's Halloween boogeyman is fentanyl, Buckley gives advice to his supporters, plus Q&As, Discord, and the general satisfaction of keeping an angry Canadian's dream alive at patreon.com/doseofbuckley. Welcome to Scumbags of the Internet. It's the feature where I find someone being a complete pile of feces to others online and shovel them up for everyone to get a whiff. Sometimes they're a celebrity, sometimes they're just your garden variety dill hole, and sometimes they're royalty? Yes, make way for His Majesty, the Crypto King of Canada! First though, let's talk a little about hope. Hope drives us to do stupid things, and everyone from the mildly evil to the absolutely evil knows exactly how to weaponize that. People who run the lottery or casinos know that you hope to get rich quick. People who push pseudo-medical bullshit like teas that claim to make you skinny know that you hope to lose weight without actually doing anything more strenuous than boiling some water. There are so many ways to make money off of hope, and the fewer morals you have, the easier that gets. Which brings us to 23-year-old Aiden Pleterski. Pleterski? I don't know. I'm not saying the last name again. Aiden, who articles refer to as the self-described Crypto King, it's always cool when you make up your own nickname, is accused of taking $35 million from investors. $35 million. Pretty scummy, right? But let's go back a moment. Tech Times wrote an article about this dude in 2021, fawning over the fact that, in 2015, when he would have been 15 or 16, he got into crypto and started investing. Let's say he invested on January 1st, 2016. One Bitcoin equaled $435. At its peak in 2021, one Bitcoin equaled $64,400 US. So, if you spent even just $100 on Bitcoin in 2015, at the high point, your investment would have been worth $14,800. If you spent $10,000, your investment would be worth $1,480,000. So, he gets rich. This article goes on to say that Aiden took the biggest risk yet, ditching his 9-to-5 job in order to focus on investing in cryptocurrency full-time. He is currently preparing to launch his own company, with the goal of disrupting the cryptocurrency industry entirely. Was that his goal? Or was it to get a bunch of rubes to give him even more money, disrupting their lives entirely? That article is from December 2021. He did indeed start that company, AP Private Equity Limited, the most generic red flag name for a company ever. Googling those words in that order comes up with effectively nothing about this specific company. And then he starts accepting money from other people, which he says he'll invest for them, making them rich like he is. Now, I don't know if you need a license or credentials of any kind to do this in Canada or what, but, of course, he doesn't have any of that, other than he bought Bitcoin in 2015 and became a millionaire. Now, is helping people invest but fucking it up a scumbag move? Not necessarily. He might have had the best intentions, but exploiting hope and making bullshit promises in order to get people to give you money that you may not actually invest at all, absolutely is a scumbag move. He promises investors a 70-30 split on all capital gains, 70% for the investor, 30% for Aiden. And, ready for this? A complete return on investment if any of it was lost. That's right. He tells these people they're guaranteed to win. They can't lose. At least one investor says that they were shown screenshots of an account with $311 million in it tied to his AP Private Equity Limited company. Probably as a guarantee, right? Hey, look how much money I have. If you give me $50K and I lose it, I got $50K to give you. No worries. Except, the investor later found out that was a lie. No such account existed. So, by making these promises, he rakes in $35 million. Apparently, a lot of it in cash. And then, where does it go? No one seems to know. But what they do know is that he owns 11 high-end cars, including a $350,000 Lamborghini Huracan, rents a mansion for $45,000 a month, and at one point claimed he has never owned a watch with a value greater than $600,000. So he's owned a watch worth $600,000? I once spent $100 on a watch and was like, oh, this is absurd. Why did I buy this watch? $600K. And he's Gen Z, so he probably can't even use it to tell time anyway. So his claim is that he lost most of the money given to him in late 2021 and early 2022 in a series of margin calls and bad trades, which is, of course, very plausible. Any of you have traditional investments or investments in crypto right now? They are all in the shitter. S&P is down 15% over 12 months. Nasdaq's down 25%. Dow Jones is down 13%. Bitcoin is down over 50%. No one in the last 12 months has investments that have earned them anything. But did this kid even invest? There's apparently zero documentation. Again, many of the people Aiden met with gave him cash, which could be fucking anywhere now, and he kept no records. They all have contracts apparently, many of which were signed via text message according to Aiden, but they're as worthless as an empty canteen to a dying man in a desert because he's got no money to honor them with. His excuse for all of this, when asked why he kept investing money when he couldn't repay the investors he already promised those full refunds to, he said, I'm a 20-something-year-old kid. I'm just a little guy. I can't help it. This is the defense they're trying to create. His lawyer basically said the same thing. Shockingly, it seems that nobody bothered to consider what would happen if the cryptocurrency market plummeted, or whether Aiden, as a very young man, was qualified to handle these types of investments. Of course they didn't, because they signed contracts that said even if their investments end up face down in Lake Erie, it doesn't matter because they'll get their money back. That's what they thought would happen if the cryptocurrency market plummeted. That's what they have signed contracts claiming. But you gotta love when a lawyer is like, my client was a moron, and other morons didn't think about what kind of a moron they were giving their moron money to. They probably should have done that, because look at this kid. Seriously. He wears baseball hats and sweatpants, and you gave him your life savings. Idiots. And he's kinda not wrong. I know, I'm gonna be called a victim blamer here, and let's be clear. The kid's a fucking piece of shit who stole $35 million, knowing full well that if it didn't work out for him, he could just declare bankruptcy. He's 23. That's an easy one to bounce back from. Probably buried as much cash as he could somewhere, and will get the fuck out of the country when this is all over. And then they'll make a Netflix documentary about him. They've only been able to seize a little over $2 million so far. Like all kings, the crypto king only cared about his own wealth first, and never intended to do anything but throw his peasants some scraps. But welcome to Mouthbreathers of the internet, where we find someone drooling all over themselves while fucking their lives up online and wonder if there's a lesson to be learned from their stupidity. One of the investors, a woman named Diane Moore, came forward to CBC News saying that she gave His Highness $60,000, which she said was going to be for her grandchildren's education, and lost $50,000 of it.
Hello, 23-year-old I don't know who invests all their money in a technology I don't understand? Yes, here's all the money I was saving for my grandkids to go to school so they'd be smarter than me. Can you make this turn into a lot more money with your computer?
The article also mentions that some of the investors took out lines of credit. They borrowed money to invest with. You mush-brained lemmings. You never invest money that's not even yours to begin with. And why? Because you saw some snot-nosed little shit with a Lamborghini and you go, oh, I want that life, and he says he can get it for me or my money back. Have people actually got collectively dumber? When I was a kid, my parents, who had never even been on the internet yet, were like, be careful, don't trust everything you read on that internet. Anyone can claim to be anything, and you have no idea who they really are. For decades, we've all laughed about Nigerian prince emails and people who got viruses or their identity stolen, clicking the banner ads with the 3 ducks trying to win an iPod. We have known for almost 30 years now that if something is too good to be true on the internet, it's bullshit and you should avoid it at all costs. And then a few Bitcoin millionaires come along and people go, oh, but those guys are real. They can make me rich. Here's the best financial advice you'll ever get. No one who is offering to help you make money actually wants to help you make money. They want to make themselves more money with your money, or just take your money. And no one who owns a Lamborghini has any interest in you owning a Lamborghini. They want to own a second Lamborghini at your expense. So, thanks to today's scumbag of the internet, the Crypto King, as well as today's Mouthbreathers of the internet, the Nimrods who gave money to the Crypto King, for showing us that no matter what we do in life, we'll always be better than they are.